Good morning. So I was asked to create a lightning talk on the building a workflows community. And I think the definition of a community comes to mind when we talk about building a community. Next, please. So when we look at the attendees today, I think we are the workflow research community mostly. And we are a group of people, we have common interests and methodologies and technical domains. We heard some of them. I would call, for instance, FAIR a methodology, and technical domains when we talk about APIs and access scale and AI, and scientific disciplines. AI comes to mind, but different user areas, and some of the users are actually workflow researchers at the same time. And we also have different geographical and funding areas. But apart from us, and it came out in our training talk, is the workflow user community. You know, they're not necessarily workflow researchers, but they definitely utilize workflow for optimization of their work processes solely as users. So I think the objective here is to bring our community together. We need to start networking opportunities or creating things together, wherever they are, and share and enhance what we already have in pockets. And I think research comes to mind when we say workflow research community, but that community also includes software engineers and generalists, multidisciplinary practitioners in this area. Next, please. So in the other slides, I added a little bit to this because I'm late as usual. So there are 4 components in building a community, which is the identity building, trust, participation, and reward. And these questions are meant to actually provide us some challenges or articulate some challenges in those. Defining what community means for us. So this is on us to define what community is. And linking developers and users if there are any translational gaps. And I think we talked about training similarly. We don't need to ship a developer every time, right? That translation, there needs to be a methodology for translation. And user is not just one user. At times it's a team of users, actually. Instead of workflow, I say team flow, because team makes the workflow happen often. And creating a formal network of researchers. And that formal also indicates there is an established trust and processes to build the community, bring the community together. On top of that, I think providing pathways for participation and training a workflow-aware user community. There is no one size fits all in this domain, as we all know. And maintaining documentation and dissemination in a way that fits different usage options and needs. Those are all challenges. And I did something extra in my talk, and I'll for the group next, please. So I think to organize a breakout group, if you could, if you're coming to it, organize your thoughts on, can you define in 2 minutes how you would define the workflow community, and also other workflow or non-workflow community building efforts that work. And if we can develop a list of recent calls supporting globally workflow research. And then I also organize these short-term long-term actions after some thinking into identity identification, trust building, enabling participation, and rewarding or encouraging participation. So these are the things we'd like to discuss in that breakout group. Thank you.